Hello. Thank you, Amber, for taking the time to do this interview with us.
Yes, my pleasure. I am excited to be here.
Okay, we have a few questions that we would like to ask you, so why don't we just get started?
Alright, let us begin.
Well, you have reigned for a long time already, and during your reign, there were numerous successes but also tragedies that already occurred. How do you deal with the changes?
Well, as Emperor, it means that you have to adapt to new situations and learn how to protect and serve for your country as needed.
Also, I mean to ask, why you won't allow any to utter your name or gaze at your face?
Well, that is merely because I'm a marvelous god, and compared to all, I am superior, and those living do not deserve to omit my name from their mouths.
Interesting. How was having the Diet there to help support you when tough decisions were needed to be made or your country went through bad times?
The Diet, or my parliament, is very helpful. I like doing things alone, but they're very helpful for when I want different opinions on different questions or situations that I won't need help with.
How do you feel about the Zaibatsu? I know they're very powerful and influence to the government heavily.
Yes, they donate lots to the political parties and want to change things so it better is from them and their favors, such as international trade, and they're very powerful business leaders who did a strong impact on our society.
When government suppressed most democratic freedoms, why do you think it revived ancient warrior values and a cult around yourself?
I assume this occurred because they want me for advice and need a true leader to look up and advise them.
When some Japanese politicians agreed to slow your foreign expansion to protect relations, how did this affect your economy and everyone involved?
Well, I think this was a much needed choice for our economic relations with the Western powers because they are coming strained. And we didn't have a consistent and strong moving expansion, which is not good for business.
I've heard that you are a man who loves science, such as marine biology. What attracts you to studies as such and not to power politics?
Many don't know me, or know this about me much, but I'm a private man and prefer marine biology than politics. Violence is not what I would pick, and it's not my first gear towards anything, yet it will need to be done or given.
When you came into power, the Great Depression occurred, which made lots of damage all around the world. What did your country go through during this horrible time?
Well, trade suffered a lot because nobody could afford our Japanese silks or goods. Plus, unemployment soared, and this made for people to be impoverished and to live without any money.
So, what tactics were used to spread your nationalist message around Japan?
Well, our government used schools to spread our ideas and nationalist ideas, such as strict obedience to me and their nation.
I've heard that ultranationalists do everything and anything to keep Western influences to a minimum. Do you agree with them, or do you want to let in Western ideals?
I think Japanese culture was built on tradition, and everyone was grown up on the same thing for thousands of years. So when another country tries to spread their ideas on us, it's kind of bad because we were built on normal tradition. But I'm a man of tradition, so ultranationalists were very extreme of things that I do not believe in.
Understandable. As Japan is thriving, why is it that peasants do not share the nation's prosperity, as they are still poor?
I cannot stop the poor from being poor because they have shifted ideas towards Marx and Lenin, but they have adopted Western fads and have prospered in their own way.
The Manchurian incident is creating a very critical time for Japan. How did you deal with the League of Nations?
Well, I'm not really a violent ruler, but when our army went against our commands and attacked Chinese, it angered the League of Nations, and therefore it led us to withdraw ourselves from the League.
Did the League of Nations ever take military action towards your aggression?
No, fortunately nothing ever happened, and our withdrawal was the last that we heard from the League of Nations.
Also, during the early years of your reign, ultranationalists began to get very powerful and support from everyone. How did you feel when they assassinated numerous politicians and wanted to overthrow the government?
Well, like I said before, they are very extreme who always took things way too far and couldn't handle the power they had, for it was more than what we had. Therefore, we had to limit socialists and suppress most dramatic freedoms so that we could give the ultranationalists what they wanted.
Also, how do you and your government keep the ideas of tradition alive?
We agree, or we try to incorporate our traditions into schools and make sure families at home are teaching them to their newest generation.
Wonderful. Wow, thank you so much for being here and answering our questions. But I think that's all we have time for today. It was so fascinating to learn what Japan is like during your reign.
Glad I could be here. Thanks for having me.